drive over here. Do that. You're turning around. Okay. 7230. I mean, for starting, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these. Once you've started knocking down fences, I don't see a problem with moving up to this sort of size. You could go for the big ones, but mid-size, sort of between the Massey Ferguson and the Rustell Mash RSM, would be a good size harvester for what I have now, but I can't afford one yet. I don't recall the mid-size case. I know I was watching Farmer Klein earlier, and on the Mod Hub testing, they have the Fendt version of this, which will be nice. Well, because that was a thing in 17. We had the Massey Ferguson, one with the 25-foot header, the other one with the 35-foot header. And pretty much within the first week we got the Fendt versions of the same harvester released by Giants. Yeah, 35 foot. If I can afford it, I'd go with 35 foot. If I can't, I go 25 foot after I've got past the entry level. This is all I can afford type of harvester. Okay. I'm going to take this back to the yard. We can unload the harvester and put it away. That's a lot of potatoes. A May Lisa tractor. Yes, I looked at Farm Sim 17 for seeders and planters as well. They didn't actually eliminate any of the mid-sized stuff. There just wasn't ever that much. There's a lot of really small stuff, which is fine. And a lot of really big stuff, which is also fine, but nothing really in the middle. Okay. Stick this lot in here. We'll go forward and take the scenic route. So that was just soybeans in there. That's close enough. That's bad. So let's take a look at our fields now. So we have to plough this one. Field states harvested, so everything that is currently harvested is going to need to be cultivated. Okay, let's go crazy. So horsepower on that, 125, 145, 42, 180. Ultra T is 210, Massey 210. Oh no, there's a plan. $10,000 to lease. It's kind of expensive. And back and cultivators. 400 horsepower, yeah, we don't have the power for that. 300 horsepower. Those get really big. Oh, we've got mods though. 300, 150, 5.5 meter, 400. 188 meter. 110 4 meter. 157.8. That might work. 146 meter. 183 meter. I think it's going to be a pain. Let's go with that one. That's 1,000. Flighty at the front, and not significantly so. Now the other option would have been to get something like the Vedastat planter. I really want to just get these fields done so that we can seed them immediately once the other two tractors are completed with their tasks. this is a big field, so having a big cultivator on the back is going to help. Ordinarily what I try to end up with is getting the last field I'm harvesting with the harvester, so I've got a spare tractor. Unfortunately this time round we were doing the potatoes at the same time the harvester was running, and you need two tractors for potato harvests. So I just don't have a spare one right now. Now, the great thing about this tractor, of course, four-wheel steering, and by taking this particular cultivator, because it's mounted on the 3-point and not trailed, you're not going to have a problem with outturning the capabilities of the hitch tow bar. Okay, I'm going to set that off on a worker for another pass. And we'll jump down here. Get the potatoes unloaded. No, we are not going anywhere. Raise the fan. Be blocked. No, be blocked. Stop, thank you. I mean, I'm hoping we do get a John Deere equipment pack at some time, because that could give us options for some field equipment of a more decent size. I mean, Big Bud was fine and quite a novelty, but really there are a lot of maps out there which Big Bud just doesn't work with. And I mean, my problem is I love these small maps. Occasionally I'll venture out into a sort of a big map, or a map with big fields, because it's fun to experience the stuff that you don't normally experience in the games you play, in the games you choose to play. But And it's not so much that I don't, I have something against big equipment. It's useful in its place, but I don't like playing big, maps with big fields, because I hate spending, the entire night ploughing a field. And then the next time I play, I'm going to cultivate the field. I still haven't planted anything, but it's taken me 4 hours so far to do field prep. Looks like we have an issue at the end of the field, so it's going to need a headland. We'll do that next. There we go. This size of equipment probably is a good plan for this farm. It's not going to take long to get the field work done, or the prep done. At this rate. Once the potatoes are harvested, you can put the other 2 tractors straight onto planting. And get all of the planting done very, very quickly. May keep the JCB through planting as well. Then I'll be able to also shift some product to market and replenish the bank balance a little. And the other reason why I don't mind doing potatoes, and it's not particularly a brave thing to do, is I've got the workers dealing with the potatoes while I do everything else. That potato harvester is a real pain to maneuver around. Have done a potato contract on this map as well, so that's the 4th field I've had harvested on this map. The only one I've really been directly involved with harvesting most of it was the contract, because obviously it saved money. What was everyone else's thoughts on the John Deere Cotton DLC announcement? Oh, I've done it again. Again. I mean, from my mind, cotton's not something I concentrate on, and as a DLC, it's kind of niche, kind of like the Roper DLC last year was. Oh yeah, last year. I didn't bother with it. It was cheaper than the rest of the DLC had been for 17, but I didn't see it was really adding a big deal to the game, and beets and potatoes was never a big thing for me. Yeah, cotton is new for 19. So I should probably play a farm where I feature cotton, probably quite heavily because of the startup costs. Well, not quite. I mean, the thing with it is they're also giving us round cotton bales, and the Case IH cotton harvester produces square bales. So we're sort of getting a harvester that produces round cotton bales. It's, yeah, okay, novelty. Obviously you need the hauling equipment for round cotton bales, because the square cotton bales aren't going to fit in the round cotton bales aren't going to be working well with the square cotton bale stuff that we've got. Plus you get a couple of attachments for tractors that allow you to scoop up cotton bales from the 3-point hitch. So it's all kind of a novelty, but they have priced it very low. As I was saying, yeah, with the Roper DLC, I really didn't appreciate that as much because, you know, I don't feature potatoes and sugar beets much. It was a low price, so you had that going for it. But frankly, 6 to 8 months off Farm Sim 19 coming out, and I didn't see the point in pretty much duplicating the equipment that was already in the game. to do something that I never really bothered concentrating on to any big extent. When I decided to do pigs, I would plant one field of sugar beets, I'd harvest it, and that was the first and last time I touched sugar beets. And I'd put the sugar beets in crates, keep a couple of dozen crates lying around, and sell the rest. And yeah, I was done. That was the only harvesting I did for sugar beets and potatoes, or potatoes should I say. And I really didn't do much in the way of potatoes from a maths perspective. You know, the equipment is smaller, and really, potato equipment is specialist. You can't use it for anything else, where the sugar beet, the planter is the same planter you use for corn and sunflowers. So if you're into corn and sunflowers, you've already got a planter that you can plant beets with. I have not done anything with sugarcane yet. I think I played Estancia Lapacho for all of about 20 minutes when it came out, then went back to the farms I was enjoying myself on. So I managed to do a little bit of sugar cane, but I got bored with that fast. I might put sunflowers in this field. Get on with it, worker. You stopped. I think we're over halfway. Yeah, I never really got into multiplayer for 17. At least not until we joined... oh, goodness. I mean, the first multiplayer I remember with any... great input for was South Mountain Creamery, which we did with Arthur and the crew, and that was fun primarily because you had lots of people doing a lot of the same stuff, so it was very much a co-op farm. And when we went to 19, we kind of blew it by having multiple farms on a map, and we went for a big map, and you kind of lost the enthusiasm because it's two people doing one farm, and it's taking them a couple of hours between them to harvest it and plant it, and that can get boring real quick. But when you've got 8 people working one farm, you've got 2 harvesters, you've got 3 or 4 haulers. The work gets done quickly. As soon as the harvester has moved a couple of rows into the field, someone will go grab a plough and start ploughing up the field behind him. So there's always something going on. There's always a job to do, but the jobs that you're doing are turning over that much quicker. So you might start the session with crop on a field ready to harvest, and you could potentially end the session with a different crop on the same field ready to harvest. What the heck are you doing? Dude, quit. You completely messed this up. Let's go go down here and do this bit, shall we? Doing in my OCD. The edge. Yeah, without getting any deeper into that. Well, need to get forwards. And it's not that I had anything against the Estancia Lapacho map, it was quite a nice map. But and I did play, yeah, I started playing it for 19. That was my my first 19 stream was Estancia Lapacho. Primarily because I hadn't played it significantly in 17, and also because it was introduced as a mod map. Everybody who'd got pre-release versions of Farm Sim 19 had been playing Ravenport and Felsbrunn to death, and the first week of general release, which was when I got hold of my copy of Farm Sim 19, it was sort of, well, I can stream Ravenport or Felsbrunn, and everybody's seen a whole load of that from the pre-release copies, or I could just start on Estancia Lapacho, and yeah, while we saw that in 17, nobody's been streaming it on 19. And I had kind of fun on that until I tried to get into the landscaping tool and completely messed up, and decided, yeah, okay, I've broken the map. And rather than starting over, there were a lot of good mod maps coming onto the scene, and so I figured, okay, I'll skip out on Estancia Lapacho. I think we came to this one from there, which again was another Farm Sim 17 map, but slightly changed in that rather than having empty yards, you could click a button and buildings would magically appear there. You got empty yards and you could buy the yard area and the buildings to go on it. Something I'm not really impressed with Ravenport and Felsbrunn is, apart from the sheds, which are very simple, most of the buildings you got on Ravenport were decorations. So yeah, completely pointless buildings to have around. Yeah, it's not like you could park anything in them, which, yeah, would make it semi-useful. So what I ended up doing on Ravenport, I never streamed Ravenport, I just played it as a test map, was, okay, I'll sell that decoration and put a shed down, or I'll sell that decoration and I'll put a sheep pen down. I'll sell that decoration and put a maintenance workshop. And that's all I did with the decorations, so I threw them away very, very quickly and replaced them with usable buildings. If they'd give, yeah, you look at what was it, Goldcrest Valley, and every building around the yard was usable. You could park something in it. I mean, okay, there was a shed. The house wasn't particularly functional, but houses weren't functional in Farm Sim 17. And what was it? Sosnovka again was, yeah, anything that wasn't, well, anything that was in the yard, you could put something in. So it was a usable building. It wasn't just there to look pretty. Now, Felsbrunn had fewer decorations available, but again, the functional buildings were sorely lacking on the Giants maps. And we had to wait a while before we got some useful mod buildings that we could actually start placing on the maps. Okay, we're nearly done here. How's the potato harvest still going? So Mrs. Osa's just gone down to bed. And the plumber's in tomorrow, so we're going to get a functional upstairs bathroom again. And I've also bought a new faucet because the foster kids broke that on the first week they were here. And we just had it replaced. Problem is we have well water. It's very hard water. And the rust had ended up bonding. Basically the what is it? The stopper for the sink broke, and the degradation of the faucet was such that it was pretty much welded to the sink unit. So we had to replace the sink, the faucet and everything, which was an unexpected event, but 80% full, okay. But we weathered that, and then, yeah, within 6 months we got new foster kids in, and the faucet was broken on the first week they were here, which I was not impressed with. But, our local emergency plumber, he always he comes round and he'll estimate the problem. You pay him for looking at it, and then with the expectation he's going to fix it. He discounts the inspection fee when he does that. Kind of like getting your car inspected. Oh, we'll take $20 to inspect it, and then if we do the work, then we'll not charge you that $20, because people take advantage of free inspections. And the guy's still working, and he's still got to feed his family. So anyway, the guy comes out, he does the work we've called him out for, and then the first question he asks when he's done is, oh, is there anything else you need me to do before I leave? So I figured, oh, I'll go out and buy a faucet, because he's coming tomorrow. And then I'll have, have you got anything else you need me to do before I leave? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Can you install this for me? Yeah, we have a water softener, but even that is, yeah, is barely coping. I'm not sure what to do to get around it, I must admit. Looks like the potatoes are full again. Finish this run down here, we'll jump over to the fence and empty the potato harvester. Oh, overturned it. Okay, lift that up.